And hello everyone! Today we are back on episode 18, I think. 18, yes, of our ComputerCraft series. The past 6 or 7 episodes we have been looking at wireless connection, transferring from a table to a string, back to a table, and everything along with that. And during one of our long lasting tests with our turtle, we have actually noticed that we have some issues with that script. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm going to resolve this time. And there are 2 things that I want to improve on. One, relatively easy, that's falling gravel. I will show that in a moment. And to deal with liquids. Water is going to be a bit difficult. At least try to cope with lava. It would be quite handy to have that. I will show you guys what's going on and what I'm going to fix, is trying to fix. I will let this turtle run, and you shall see that if gravel falls down, it will collect at the bottom. Obviously, since it falls down. But it does also mean that it doesn't get mined. That can leave some nasty, well, places in the world. And another drawback is that it can also spawn mobs, which can be a bit less handy, if you get what I mean. As you can see, the turtle does never go back to the left side to check if there is gravel, simply because we didn't tell the turtle to do that. So that's the thing I want to implement, that if all the gravel is gone, first of all, you don't need to mine it yourself. And secondly, there's less spawning spaces. And in a world like this, for those who play Minecraft, if you have everything lit up in your area and you have 1 or 2 spots that can spawn mobs, it will spawn mobs like crazy. That's something we don't want to happen in this place. So we're going to implement that. Secondly, the liquids. But let's start with the gravel. Let's actually go back first. Yeah, and open our API and a script. This is the script that we worked on until episode 10. Episode 11 we started on something else. But now we are back. Well, it's all pretty understandable what it's doing, which is great. Thanks to some comments and some nice setup, main variable thingies, and also considering the fact that it's rather short. We will do some stuff with that. And this is the mine section, which is actually the main function, or one of the main functions of the actual script. So all the way at the end, we want it to turn left 1 more time. Turn left 1 more time, and then we just want to check if there's something. I think we can do that with a while loop. We never know how long that gravel thing is going to be. While turtle.dig is true, do this. I think just a sleep of 0.5, half a second will do. And if it's all finished, then turtle.turn right. That should set it up for the next part. I think that's just everything. There's not much fanciness to it. Let's run this once. Okay, we have to add a few more gravel pieces to it. Let's go for the absolute worst case scenario, which is a lot of gravel. This is not something you will see generated in the game normally. So and it seems to be handling it quite well. Let's go for a bit more realistic scenario. Which is most of the time gravel spawns in heights of 2, 3, sometimes 4, or just 1. Let's see if this is going to fix everything. Well, it kind of is the same thing at the end. It's just one long pile, so it should be alright. And goes back. Great. And I would not know why this wouldn't work. Yeah. It does take a little bit of time, of course, just because it needs to turn 2 more times and check if there's something. Let's actually see what's happening when there's nothing there. Just to make sure that everything is working. Well, the liquid part will be a bit harder, I imagine, since that would require placing a block every single time, and it cannot mine. And that can either consume a lot, like really a lot of time, or just not work at all. Oh, that was great. Just a small turn. That's exactly what we wanted. So now for that place block thingy. For that we actually need to convert quite a lot. Now I look at my script. There's pretty much every single time that it wants to dig forward, it needs to check for that liquid, I think. Well, when it goes forward afterwards, we kind of don't have to. So it's only when it's going up and down in its mining script, mining section, it needs to be on the left and the right side. Okay. Interesting. Function dig should do it. Then we have if turtle.dig equals to false. Oh wait, if not, that's better then. That's better, I think. Then it's going to make a bit more sense. If that's not true, so if this false and not false is true, so that makes sense, then it should do some stuff. And well, it's a kind of an assumption. Well, let's do this for now, and then simulate what is going, what can break it. If turtle.select slot 1, I assume that there is a block in there that can be placed. Turtle.place. Just place. I think it's just place. Turtle. Oh. Turtle.dig. And that should select slot 1, place an item that is in slot 1, dig it again, and go from there. It's nothing fancy, but I think it should just do it. Now it's just a question, when do we want it? I think we want it here, and when it is going down. Those are the only 2 moments you really need it. And on this one, of course, and then this one as well. The only thing that can happen is that it is dripping from the ceiling. Okay, that can happen. Let's actually poke a few holes. And that's an important one. Let's see if it works at all. Okay, take some distance. Yeah, and it is nicely placing a block in there every single time so far. Yeah, so we do at least know for sure that a section 3y, nice, is always clear of lava. Water is a bit more difficult since that, well, regenerates kind of. Awesome, no gravel, so that's working. That's great. That's actually really great. Didn't think it would be this easy. But now comes the issue. What if there is an item that cannot be placed? And then it is kind of getting in trouble, I think. See, it isn't placing. At least it is just continuing. That's already something. It could also just stop there. Just checking if there was lava. Could also just stop there and not do anything. But luckily it keeps going. Okay. I'm wondering if turtle.place does return something. Let's print this. If it will do it anyway, if it is printing, then you at least know for sure. That it was there, and if it, oh, oops, I missed some parentheses there. I'm always surprised that it's just continuing, starting. It should not really know what to do at this point. Because that is absolutely not clear to the turtle. I hope it just stops in time. Okay, that was okay. Okay, now it is at least going. Will it print? False, cannot place item here. Okay, that's good. So we can do something with that. So, ooh, good question. If this thing, if not, then we want another slot. Let me check. Is there a turtle get slot? Help turtle. Get selected slot. That sounds like something we exactly need. We could fix it a little bit more. Wow, there are a lot of turtle things. A bit more clever, but we could do it in a for loop, but then it would go through all the stuff all the time. And if we get the slot, then we can at least move it one further. Do that in a while loop. So it will try over and over and over and over again. Yeah. While not. this do turtle dot get selected slot. This is a variable, so that needs to be local n equals 0. It likes to use n for some reason, a lot. And most of the time I'm just referring to a number, set value in that case. Turtle dot select next slot n plus 1. And the only thing is, if n is 9, 12, 13, 14, so if this 13, then it should just stop, break the loop. Is then displacing, well, placing chests is not the end of the world. Placing ender chests is the end of the world. That's an absolute waste. So let's not include the last two slots, okay? If n equals, what did we say? 12, 13, 13, then break the loop. Okay, that should fix all of that. Let's set up the scenario once again. And run this one more time. I'm curious, I want to see what's happening. Yeah, so it does pick the next one. And it just keeps working. That's not too shabby, if I say so myself. It does react a little bit slower. At least that's what it looks like. Well, if I make the assumption that it is always getting back to slot 1, then that would save quite a lot of time. But I don't think I can, actually. Refuel select 1. So after the refuel, 1 is selected. After the chests, 1 is selected. So I think I can actually get rid of that step. I think I can. Since the fuel is important, chest is important, and the rest doesn't really matter. Well, let's see if this increased the speed a bit. It does feel like it is a bit faster. And it does only refuel at the start, it does only place chests at the end, so in between there should not be anything that would change the slots. At least that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, this is definitely faster. So that's doing it. Let's see in the distance that our main turtle is also still running. That's good. Let's add some comments in here. This is digging forward with filling all if empty. Will move to next slot if item can't be placed. That's kind of the thing. replacing exclude slot 14 and actually 15 and 16. It's 15 and 16, 14, yeah, this is correct. And we can see exactly what we have fixed today, our main turtle. So we did find gravel. And as you can see, this gravel is falling as we speak, which is exactly the problem. It does also indicate that it doesn't mind it if it is on the right side of it. Let's implement that real quick. Then we go and call it for this time. That should just be this one, I think, before it turns left. Yeah, I think that's exactly what is going on. So if we make a sleep here from half a second and dig again, this can be a turtle that dig, I think. Good question. It kind of needs to do this for a while. Oh wait, let's fix that on exactly the same way as we did it below here. So that should fix it for us. So we are going to test that next time, and hopefully it works. I assume it does, and that means that we have fixed our gravel issue and our lava issue. Lava isn't currently an issue, but it will be in a few more blocks. The further we go to the left side of us, the further we go towards the lava. So we will encounter it at some point. So for today, I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have learned something, please let us know. If you have suggestions for what we can add to it or can do slightly different, please let us know. And I hope you have a great evening, day or afternoon, whatever it is at your place. And see you next time. Bye bye.